Welcome. Thank you for your service as representatives of our Savior Jesus Christ. This is not an official church video, but I am your area orthopedic surgeon and a physical therapist, and I have the great privilege of helping you all stay healthier. So these are going to be some stay-at-home fitness tips to help to keep you from having neck and back pain from being inside a lot currently, sitting too long or improperly, using poor posture, not stretching properly, and not using good body mechanics. These are the things that I've been seeing lately as you all have been confined in your apartments. Although I cover 20 missions, I'm based out of the Florida-Orlando mission, and I would like to introduce you to two of our zone leaders in our mission who will be demonstrating for me today.
I'm Elder Trujillo. I'm from Kaysville, Utah.
I'm Elder Petty. I'm from Farmington, Utah.
Hi, this is Sister Dr. Susan Pauls, your area orthopedic advisor for North America Southeast and part of Texas. So we're going to talk first about sitting because I know a lot of you are doing a lot of sitting right now. It's important to have your book or your device on eye level. If you keep your head forward, like Elder Petty's doing right now, then you add 60 pounds of pressure to your neck vertebra, to the bones in your neck, which is not a great thing. So if you can prop your device or book on a blanket, a pillow, a bowl, a pot, anything that you have in your apartment to get it as close to eye level as possible. You want to be able to sit straight with your chin tucked back slightly so your head is over your shoulders. Elder Petty, head tilt back a little bit. No, you're going forward. There, it's perfect. That's great. You can think about having a wire in the top of the head pulling you straight up, okay? Shoulders back. Now, he has a little pillow in the low part of his back at his waist, but the other better way to do it for good body mechanics is to have a stool or a book or a box or something on the floor. We're using a box that somebody mailed, we just taped it up, and he's using that as a box. And the reason is, normally when you're sitting, you want to be able to have your thighs level with the floor, but if that happens, you have a curve or an arch in your low back and put an additional strain on your low back, which will ultimately begin to cause a problem. So if you simply put one foot up on anything that you've got available, that will help take the strain off your back. He could, if that box weren't the same size, he could roll it over and use it the other direction. If you have a stool, that works. There's any number of things you can put to prop your foot on. This would be a good position for him to be using his phone or iPad. Even higher would be better, but if he's too high, then his arms are going to get fatigued from trying to scroll. While you're standing, it's extra important, again, to keep one foot propped up on a box, a stool, pull out a drawer or a cabinet, but you can do this yourself. It's a forward pelvic tilt. So Elder Trujillo is demonstrating by simply rocking his pelvis forward, tightening his stomach muscles, tightening his buttock muscles. That is the optimal. Now hold that position. That's the optimal position for your low back, but it gets very tiring. So another alternative to that is to simply, while he's working at the kitchen, he can open the cabinet and put his foot up on the inside of the cabinet or on a drawer. Again, that would straighten out the curve in his low back to some extent and help to relieve the pressure in that area. Okay. When you've been sitting for a while, you need to get up and move around every 30 to 40 minutes. So if you're studying for an hour, maybe set your alarm or make a note to get up at 30 minutes and just move around a little bit. Backs don't like to stay put, either sitting or standing. So let's suppose you've been studying for a while, as Elder Trujillo is doing, and you start to feel tight, because you will. Your neck and shoulder muscles are going to start to feel tight. So let's talk about some simple little contract, relax things we can do. First of all, Elder Trujillo is going to show shrugging his shoulders really hard as he can up towards his ears, and then just letting go. Do that again. Way high, hard, and then let go. Now pinch your shoulder blades together backwards. Hard, and then let go. And then again. Good. Now just leaving your arms at your sides, roll your shoulders forward and backwards. There's no number of these to do, just do a couple when you start to feel tight. And they tell me this may be one of President Nelson's best exercises, even for your heart, because it brings blood supply back in, is reach to the sky for 30 seconds twice. And we're not going to do all that, but at least to demonstrate that for you. All right, the other thing you can do is if you feel particularly tight, like you have some knots, you can get a racquetball or lacrosse ball and massage the area. If you've got a really nice companion, maybe they'll actually help you do that if it's an area you can't reach. And the other option is kind of like an old bear in the woods against a tree. Elder Trujillo is going to go use a corner of a wall here and kind of lean into the sore spot and kind of rub it out. Thank you. I'm going to be teaching you some simple stretches to do every morning and evening, but first let's talk about what you can do when you feel tight, besides the shoulder shrugs, shoulder blade pinches, and shoulder rolling that we've already demonstrated. So, for the neck, twice a day, you really should stretch your neck slowly and gently. All stretches should be slow and gentle. So Elder Trujillo is going to demonstrate. He's going to drop his neck down, put his ear on his shoulder. The order doesn't matter. Other ear on the other shoulder, looking up at the ceiling, coming back to normal, turning and looking over one shoulder, and then looking over the other shoulder. This is a great neck stretch. It's nice if you could do it in the shower while the hot water's running on you, but if not, just twice a day would be great. Just a couple of them, depending on how tight you feel. Next, to stretch out your low back, he's going to demonstrate. He's been sitting, studying for a while, so now he's going to sit and dangle all the way down, nice and relaxed, just totally loose, okay? And he's going to start with a little pelvic tilt, and then as he straightens up, he's going to do so in sequence, starting with his lower back muscles and working his way up to his neck muscles, just nice and slow, straightening up in sequence till he's all the way back up. Great. Now we're going to demonstrate a good side stretch, which is great for opening up the little joints in your low back. So he's going to cross his arms over his shoulder. He's going to make sure he has a nice pelvic tilt. His pelvis is tilted forward, okay? Now he's going to lean to one side, making sure that he keeps his seat on the seat of the chair and not lifting up. And again, in sequence. Okay, and then come back and slowly stretch to the other side. And as he straightens up, he's doing this in sequence, starting again with his low back muscles and working back up to the upper back muscles as he straightens up. Perfect, good job. If you happen to be a weightlifter, you always want to use those good body mechanics to protect your low back. So Elder Petty is now going to demonstrate, when he's getting ready to do a curl, he can either do a really strong pelvic tilt using his own muscles, or he can put his foot up on something, again, that flattens out the low back, protects those muscles, those joints, those ligaments in the low back to do his curl. Okay? And of course, you're going to remember to breathe properly when you do that. Animals stretch when they wake up. If you notice, that's their natural instinct. We as people don't tend to stretch. And it's important that you do stretch morning and night. First thing you wake up in the morning and last thing before you fall asleep. Now, some missionaries can do this on the floor, but if that's a problem, sometimes getting on and off the floor is harder on your back than just doing it in the bed when you wake up. So you start on your back, as Elder Petty is, with your knees bent. The first one you're going to do is a simple pelvic tilt. So basically you just rock your pelvis up, hold it for a second, and put it down. 5 is enough of these. The next one is a knee to chest exercise. So you reach down and grab one thigh. Don't grab your knee, grab your thigh and pull it as far as you comfortably can towards your chest. If that hurts, then you don't do it quite as far, and then you do the other leg. And then you do both legs together. And again, 3 to 5 of these is enough depending on how tight you feel. And then the last one is a curl or a half sit-up, tucking the chin down, crossing the arms, and then just doing a half sit-up. And again, 3 to 5. Great, thank you. A lot of you elders and sisters are confined to your apartment and doing a lot more things on the phone with video calls and conferences and so forth. This would be how Elders Petty and Trujillo would typically do a video conference. So to make this better, their sitting position is not terrible, okay? But if this is going to be very long, they're going to get tired. They might want to put a pillow behind their backs. to give them a little more support. Their hip and knees are bent pretty well, so that's good. But the eye angle to the device is way too low. They're both having to look down. So maybe you want to put these pillows or something else, a pile of books or whatever would work for you to get that up a little higher so that you're not having to look down as far. Again, just be creative with what you have in your apartment. Folded blankets, books, a stack of books, bowl, those things will all work. Into these tips to help you stay fit and healthier while you're confined. I will be adding a second video incorporating use of a fitness ball. If you'd like to learn some in-the-house exercises you can do to improve your fitness and have a different thing to sit on periodically to improve your balance, strength, and circulation, I will be forwarding that to your mission as well. If you are interested in the fitness ball, you would need to have your family order one from somebody like Amazon or Walmart. Prices range from $10 to $20, commonly and upwards. They go by height, and whoever orders it would need to know your height for the size of the ball. For those of you with any significant back, neck, or other orthopedic problems, or if you have any questions about your exercise routine, please contact your nurse to consult with me directly. This is Dr. Susan Pauls. This has been a privilege to serve you all, and I'm grateful for your service. Thank you.